Another day, another blow dry brush. Hi, I'm Chloe Swift and I'm a professional hairstylist and hair care expert. Welcome back to my YouTube, or hello if you are new here. Today we are going to be trying out the brand new Babyliss Air Wand Dryer, Straightener, Styler all in one. I'm going to be doing half using it as like a straightener, a dryer and getting a smooth result, and the other half as getting a nice bouncy, voluminous, hopefully voluminous blow dry result. So yeah, let's get straight into it and try it out. This is then a hair dryer, and then you've got like a more round brush and then a more straight brush. But let me just read you some of the info from the back. 3 different airflows and 4 different temperatures, including a cool setting. Magnetic rear filter. It's anti-frizz technology, so the dual ionic system combining positive and negative ions to eliminate frizz and flyaways. And I know from other hairbrushes that I've worked with, these work in a very similar way with positive and negative ions. First thoughts, the look and feel is very, very similar to obviously the Air Wrap is my first thought. Even the colour is that kind of navy blue colour, which Dyson have just done, but it does look very premium and it does look quite nice and expensive, which I like. That's where the airflow comes out from, and that does look very small. What I like is that it is very different to any other product that I have seen or used so far, because the head, it is just very small. It's not something that goes on the end or it goes all the way around. It literally just attaches onto there. You just hold down this unlock button. This end needs to go at the top, and then give it a little wiggle and it's in. And I don't think, famous last words, but I don't think that's going to come out. So yeah, these bristles on the outside, it's got a whole ring of bristles on the outside. They have got a little bit of flex, as you can see, they do move a little bit. Whereas these on the inside, there's absolutely no flex to those. They are solid. So I think these are almost like your straightener part, where the heat is going to be hotter here. So don't touch those. Whereas here, these bristles, they obviously don't heat up. But let's look at the more round brush head. So your round brush head is just slightly curved. The bristles all have flex to them. It's a mixture of ceramic and then natural bristle, but it's probably vegan. They're just like plastic bristles. So these all have flex to them. None of the bristles are going to heat up with this. It will just be this back plate that heats up. And then obviously you can see where the airflow comes out through all of these gaps here. I'm not sure how much of a bouncy blow we're going to get with this, because obviously it's not completely round. It's just like a curved surface. So what I might do on the round volume side is also pin the hair, just to try and get it as bouncy as a result as we can. And this is your magnetic filter that easily removes, and you can clean this, which is quite a cool feature. Let's plug her in. Okay, so I have just been searching high and low in like looking on the box, looking at YouTube, looking at the Babyliss website, because I really wanted to find out exactly what the heat temperature settings are, and it's not online anywhere. It's nowhere that I could find. So I've actually just messaged someone who works for the PR for Babyliss, and I've said, can you find out the temperature? Because I think it's quite baffling that a tool, a heat styling tool for your hair, it's communicating that it's got like 4 different temperatures, but it's not telling you what those temperatures are. So I do have the answers for you guys. So hot off the press, so we have the cool setting is 25 degrees Celsius. So let me just turn it on. This is your temperature setting. You can see you've got 3 blobs for heat, and then that's your cool setting. So cool setting is 25 degrees Celsius. This first heat setting, that is 52 degrees Celsius. The second heat setting, that is 61 degrees Celsius. Heat setting number 3 is 71 degrees Celsius. Those temperatures are applicable without the head, but as soon as you put then the head on with the styling attachment, so the head on plus the highest temperature setting, the maximum heat temperature that this tool gets to is 120 degrees Celsius. When you are heat styling damp hair, the temperatures that you're using have got to be so much more lower than a heat tool that you're using on dry hair, because hair is so much more fragile, it's more vulnerable when you're styling it from damp and from wet. So 120 with your attachments on, and then if your attachments aren't on and you're using it as a hairdryer, you have got 52 degrees, 61 degrees, 71 degrees. So they're very precise, exact temperatures. And then your cool setting is 25 degrees Celsius. So that's ideal if you're just trying to set down your curls or the shape, for example. And then this here, this is your speed setting. So let me just turn it on. We've got full speed, slow speed, medium speed. Ideally work on freshly washed, towel dried hair. You don't want it to be absolutely soaking. So I have left my hair in a towel just to soak up a lot of the moisture, and this is like the right kind of amount of dampness that you want to then be using a tool like this. Let me just run you through the products that I've already popped into my hair. Kerastars Filler Serum. This is from the Premier range. The smell is like, they call it Portofino Summer, but it smells absolutely amazing. Your hair smells of it all day. It's really summery and citrusy and fresh, so I love that. This helps to kind of smooth the hair, tame your frizz, and fill in any like gaps that your hair's missing, maybe from it being damaged. So I love that. I've already popped that in. And then the Kerastars Elixir Ultime Oil. This is the brand new oil, and this is the new refillable tube, which I absolutely love. Just look how cool that is. Next, I'm going to pop in the Hair by Sam McKnight, and this is the Blow Dry Foam Cool Girl Volume. Okay, so hair is protected from heat. We're not gonna hopefully get any frizz or fluffiness because we've popped oil in and the serum, and then this is going to help it actually hold the style that we're going to pop in. Now we're going to take out some of this excess moisture. So turning my tool on, and I'm going to do a medium speed, and let's start off with that medium heat. Okay, I think that should be enough. So just that your hair isn't like wet, but obviously we still want it damp, that it's going to then change your bonds from alpha to beta within your hair and actually change the shape. Let me do a clean section down the middle, and we're going to do half, as I say, more voluminous and more bouncy, and the other half straight. Let's just focus on all of the round brush side first of all, and then we'll move on to the straight side. Okay, so first section with my round brush, we're going to be using this head. And I've taken my section where I would normally take it, which is about level with the top of the ear, and then draw that line all the way to the back so it reaches the back of the head. Let's go. I'm still going to start off on medium speed and medium heat. Like bevel around it. Now let's see if we can wrap it all the way up. I don't think we can wrap it all the way up. Let's try. Nice. Oh, that's quite nice actually. Let me pin it. I'll try and find a link, an Amazon link where you can just kind of get these little silver pins if you need any to like also do this pinning up and clipping. I really liked the temperature. It felt good. Definitely not too hot. And I think if you're concerned about heat damage, probably stick to that second temperature. On my next one, I am going to try a higher heat just to see if it like gets it any bouncier. And yeah, maybe I initially thought, oh, is it going to be hard to wrap it all the way up? But no, it is doable. It is doable. Next section, let's take it to above the eyebrow. Make sure you're taking it all the way to the back of the head. And this is then going to split into two sections because it's too wide to just be one section. And let's just try it on the higher heat. So it's definitely feel hot on the hair. I need to be trying the cool setting as well, but it's just quite hard to see. I don't think it's gonna like make it be any stronger or tighter of a shape, so maybe I'll just stick with the medium setting. I hate to put like kind of unnecessary heat on my hair, especially if it can just be styled and dried on that lower heat. I'd rather do that. Let's go back down to the lower heat. That looks good. Next section, let's go to the recession point where your hair recedes back. And again, we're going to be splitting this into two, side by side. The one thing I will say, you can only really use the cool setting when like the tool is facing the mirrors, then you can actually see what you're doing and what buttons you're pressing. I am glad I'm pin curling this because that is where so much of your end result and the shape comes from, when you've let the hair actually sit and completely cool in this kind of voluminous shape. I think the result is going to be very, very loose if you were just to literally leave each curl without pinning them. Let's do that into 3 because this is quite a big one. So let's split that. So you're gonna have one like fringy one, and they're quite big sections they are. So let's split that into 3. Okay, so this side all done with the kind of rounded brush head. One thing I have noticed, it is very light to hold, like it doesn't feel it's a massive effort keeping your arms up in the air like that. But one thing I will say, I do think, especially if you're going to be pin curling all of your hair like that, like I know a lot of people can't do that. There is an aspect of you need to be knowing what you're doing and kind of how to do a pin curl set and like a blow dry. Let's move on to the straight side. And I'm going to be taking the exact same sections here. So top of the ear as our first section. Let's keep it on the medium heat again, I think. I will say, even on the medium speed with this brush head, it feels very powerful. Like it's kind of just blowing the hair out of the brush. I'm trying to like tuck it under, but it's not really doing that. So let's turn it down a speed setting maybe. And it does feel hot, this brush head, even though I'm on the medium heat. And it must be because those ones are heated in the middle. So it feels powerful and hot, this head. So I'm just gonna try and tuck it under that end. But it feels more controllable on the lower speed setting. Next section is going to be top of the eyebrow again. I think the best way to use it is just doing downward strokes like this. I don't think it's not kind of doing it right if I'm trying to come up and under and curve it under. Passing comment just yet. I'm undecided still. I don't know. Let me come back to you after this section. about dry. I mean, I don't know if I'd just get a better result on my hair just by like drying it and then running a brush through at the same time. I would definitely not call this a straightener. Obviously it's saying it is dryer, straightener, styler in one. I don't really think you could class that as a straightener, because I mean you would definitely want to go through and straighten that if you are wanting a poker straight look. To be fair, I have gone through it on the medium heat. You can see there are just a few little, like where my shorter hairs are wanting to fly away a bit. Let's go on the high heat just to see if we can further straighten this out. And I'm going to stay low speed just to like manage it. Yeah, that has gone a lot hotter, the hot heat. I don't think I'd want to use that hottest heat and go through all of it from damp. It kind of feels, it is 120, which is safe to use on damp hair, that temperature. That's like the highest you want to go. I don't think I would do that from damp. For my hair normally actually is really shiny for a blonde. It doesn't, it looks a bit shiny on camera, but in real life, IRL, it could definitely do with a little bit more shine, I would say. I think the straightener brush side, I mean, it's very easy to use. I definitely think it's best just doing that and pulling down straight. It was very powerful, which is good, but then it's like the power was blowing out the hair in the wrong direction when you're trying to like tuck it under. This, I'd say it's good if you have got very coarse hair that you just hate drying. Like that was a super easy way just to dry it, and just by using one tool, it's not like you need to do a brush and then do a hairdryer at the same time. So I think you'd probably like it then, just as a really easy tool to smooth and dry. But I definitely think those of you with curlier, wavier, thicker hair types, you would still want to go through with a straightener if you are after a poker straight look. Okay, let's go through and take out these pin curls now, which I'm excited to see. They're looking really good, but as I say, as I did mention, the pin curling makes a huge difference. Like you wouldn't have got this result if you were just to leave them and not pin them up. Pinning just makes such a big difference. It's basically leaving it in that shape, but even it's an even tighter shape, because it depends, it's how tight you rolled them up when you pinned them. Your hair will then set into that shape. Okay, so to dress it out, obviously I can't just leave it like this. Let's do a little bit of oil or serum, and I'm just gonna rake my fingers through it just to break it up a bit. We'll use the oil, seeing as I've already got it out, the Kerastase Elixir. I'm just gonna do the tiniest drop, and we can always add more as needed. I do like that, but I don't know, it's hard because I have manipulated the shape myself by pin curling it, but look how nice that shape looks. That looks really chic, like an expensive blow dry. And this side, to be fair, I mean, obviously I have put a little touch more oil in, but this looks shinier and smoother, even though I went in also just on the medium heat with this one, compared to that side. Okay, let's do a little touch of oil in this side, because I think that's only fair if I've also done it in this side, just to help finish it. I know my hair, because it is naturally wavy, give this like a couple of hours, because I can see it's already starting to, see like that bit, it will start to fluff up. So yeah, let's give it a little bit of oil as well, hopefully to stop that. Keep it as moisturised as possible. And I also think let's spray this with a little hairspray, because it's what I would do anyway. I wouldn't just probably leave it just without anything. So I'm going to go in again with the Maria Nella styling spray. This is a very light hairspray, so it's not going to weigh it down or anything. Final thoughts to summarise. I definitely think this round head, I really like this result, but just bearing in mind, I have manipulated the style by putting it and setting it in the pin curls. So I do think you still need to be able to blow dry, kind of know how to pin curl to be able to get this result. But if I'm going to compare this side with this round head compared to my other video, which I'll insert the link if you haven't been able to see that yet, my other video with the silken hot brush, I much preferred the experience of using this brush. It was so much easier to use, the tool is really lightweight, and I think because the fact it is just such a small brush, it does glide through the hair really easily. And I don't know, I thought I might struggle with that and then you might not be able to take big sections, but no, it works really well actually. So yeah, my experience with using this side, much prefer to the other hot brush I used, and I do prefer it to then using the smoothing brush side. So the smoothing brush, I was hoping for better results, I think, to be honest with you, because it seems like it gets a really good tension on the hair. I couldn't quite go under because the hair was blowing it up, so you're left to kind of go down. And I do think you get a really nice smooth result, and it smooths the hair out, but 100% I would need to go in, and I think so many other people would also, you'd need to go in and finish that off with either a straightener. So I wouldn't call this a straightening device, I would just say it's like a smoothing hot brush, and then you've got a hot brush here on this side which helps you get a little bit of volume and a little bit of bounce. Again, I wouldn't call it a curl, it's just a bit of bounce and a bit of volume. So for me, prefer this side, and I would definitely use it again. I'm not sure I would personally use this side again, the smoothing hot brush, but some of you might love it if you do really struggle to blow dry your hair smooth if you've got more challenging hair. And there we go guys, that is my honest review of the Babyliss Air Wand. Please, I would love to know what you guys think. Let me know below in the comments. Please like, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you next week for lots more hair care tutorials and hair care tips. Bye guys.